Round two.
Round two, pick number 5 of the nouns of we wish social media was around for. This I just would find funny is if Instagram in particular or Snap, anything with photo posting and comment, captions, I guess, not comments. If a Greek warrior who was inside the Trojan horse posted a picture like inside the horse about to raid, and maybe a follower inside the city of Troy saw it, and it just changes some outcomes there. And I think
everybody get hype.
This amazing, historical warfare strategy story of Trojan horse is ruined by one guy posting a picture because he wants likes.
I've had a couple things on this. I had thought about this one as well, and then I was like, well, we're not 100% confident that the Trojan War was actually like a thing. But I like the pick regardless. We're also not confident that it wasn't. When you start talking about this guy on his phone, like talking about it from within the horse, I immediately started thinking that he has like anything else that a phone can do. And I'm like, okay, so that the Greeks are like, why is Lose Yourself by Eminem like bumping from within this horse? Why are there people getting like visibly excited?
Pop up.
Yeah, this is another good one. This is a really good second pick. I feel like it was a little bit more like regional. Like, I don't know that necessarily everyone all over the world would care about this one as much, but the people in Troy would certainly be watching that Twitter feed or Insta feed or whatever it might be.
The story we would hear nowadays would be very different for how that war ended.
This is a funny pick, especially because it changes the course of how it plays out. I like to think of the guy just like sitting in the corner of the horse, like giggling to himself, like
thinking of his caption.
Yeah. And everyone else around him is like, shut the fuck up. Like, we're doing this.
We're doing something here. Yeah.
The guy's got like very obvious social media brain rot. He can't kick off.
He's the Griffin of the Trojan horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think regardless, the picture we're choosing is assuming that like if someone's doing this on social media, they like immediately become like the worst type of social media person, like how we described Jesus previously. Like I like to believe that there's someone in Troy whose like job is just like to make sure that they're not getting attacked. And he's like, I saw this guy on Instagram saying he's in the horse. Like, do I bring this up to my boss? And he's going through like internal dilemma of like, do I like show this like Donkey Punch 69 account to my boss or like?
So what a name! What a screen name!
That would be his name too.
We've gone from me saying that Instagram to you saying that Troy has cybersecurity. Who's just scrolling through such a... I like it. I'm here for it.
In this universe, that's what's happening.
To make this work, we kind of need to like up the tech level, but also keep everything else at the same point, which is, it's troubling.
Yeah, I mean, my guy's on a seashell, listening in. And just, I don't know.
Good stuff.
It's good. Yeah. No, I like it. Anything else on the Trojan horse?
No,
it's a sneaky winner. I'll just say that.
It's a sneaky good pick. I'll tell you that. All right. My number 2, actually taking inspiration from, I want to say Thomas on an early episode, but it could have been Andrew. I think it was Thomas. It's the Great Emu War of 1932. Australia, the Australian military sent soldiers with machine guns to cull the emu population, and they were incredibly unsuccessful. And not only did they not do what they needed to, but they were like mocked around the entirety of the continent for it. Everyone was aware that it was something they were going to do, and people made fun of them. I just imagined like all of that vitriol and making fun of those people and just blasting it to the entirety of the planet and being like, yo, Australia, like, get your fucking shit together. What the hell is going on with you people? These guys would have been mocked relentlessly by everyone. The memes would have been just immaculate. It would have honestly probably like redefined the way that we think about Australia because of how popular it would have been on like the global stage. Like, we would not be like, oh yeah, cool country of like hot, fit people. Would be like, fucking idiots that can't even kill an animal.
I've had 2 picks tonight, and I'm going to sit here and say that this is the best pick so far. I love this pick.
That's because it was used to be your pick.
Hilarious part of history, because I remember they took an insane amount of ammunition and could not do anything to these emus. Phenomenal pick. It would have been to follow that from the United States on social media would have been hysterical.
Yeah.
We would have been like, are they trolling us? Like, is this a joke?
Is this fake?
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right, Griffin, that it would have completely reshaped how the world thinks about Australians. Like, nobody would be Team Australian at that point. Nobody would be Team Emu. Everyone would be like all about emus. Like, fuck yeah. I kind of wish the emus had social media too, but
that's a good point. It's just the emus flexing on the Australians. Being like, next time, bring your A game.
Events that we wish emus had social media for. That'll be the next list night episode.
An emo posting like the gritty picture, sleep with one eye open, humans.
Sleep with one eye open tonight, bird. That's great. That's it. That's they would be wearing t-shirts with those guys' faces on them and just really mean phrases.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I don't have much to add.
That's a good pick.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. I really appreciate the vote of confidence, even though kind of in your own way, you're just bigging up your own pick from 3 years ago.
Yeah,
So
I forget what
He's
that
playing the
list
long game.
was, but
Yeah. I don't remember. Historical events we wish we were there for?
potentially.
Remember,
Maybe.
the entire List Night saga is all part of the same shared
We
universe.
need to
all
figure out how to
canon.
condense our names. I'll tell you that. We got too many words in these names.
All right. So my next pick is somewhat motivated by the recent hockey thing. I don't even know what it was called. The Canada, the World Competition, whatever that was between U.S. and Canada. It's Miracle
Four
on
Nations.
Ice. Yeah, Four Nations. Thank you. Four Nations. It's the Miracle on Ice. Like I'm imagining the lead up to the Four Nations and then multiply that by 100. Unfortunately, Canada did beat us in the Four Nations, but also fortunately we did beat Russia in the Miracle on Ice. I just feel like the only time nowadays where people are aligned is during a U.S. sporting event because everybody generally is rooting for the same team unless you just want to be a hipster that doesn't root for your own country. So I feel like what would have happened for sports, I feel like what would have happened when they beat them, which would have been crazy. Obviously, it's a hugely important historical time period between the U.S. and Russia. So yeah, Miracle on Ice after the win would have been good stuff.
I don't want to get too political or speak for the others in this chat, but in our group chat, we were actively rooting for Canada during the four.
Big time. The three other guys here were rooting for Canada.
And I also recall a time where Thomas chanted USSR on a bus when people were trying to chant USA.
That happened. I was not rooting for Canada. I just
Were you
wanted
not?
good hockey.
It was good hockey. It was absolutely good hockey.
Aaron recommended this pick, but much like Griffin said, I was trying to stay away from sports. But if there was a sports event I was going to go with, it would have been this because of everything around the game. It would have been it's the perfect event for social media.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's a really good sports pick in particular because it's a lot more than just sports. It's also geopolitical conflict.
Yeah.
And
a great movie.
really, and a great movie. And that was actually one of my thoughts was does the movie end up being better or worse for the fact that between periods, all the players are checking their mentions to see what people think about them? I think arguably maybe a better movie, but who's to say?
Yeah, this is a good pick. It was on my. I don't think it was going to make my top 5 actually, but it's on my extended list. I like the pick. I think. Yeah. It's a good point. I don't know how I'd be curious to see how the players would react and just all the fans. Al Michaels with his historic call.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
True.
all of it.
I think other than some pre-social media Olympics, it's the sporting event to have on this list, at least. Plus, again, such a difference.
Great movie. Yeah. Great movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna think about this after the episode. Is what other sports events do I think would probably make the list? But it is definitely on a short list because it was so much more than just a sport. I mean, maybe the Thrill in Manila or something like that. I don't know. Andrew might be about to give a sports pick, so we'll see.
I have it on my list. It wouldn't be my top 5. So if nobody takes it after, or if I don't take it, then yeah, I can mention it.
So my next pick is not a sports pick. It's a biblical pick inspired by Thomas, not really, but I'm going further back than the New Testament. I'm going to the Old Testament, and my pick is Moses bringing down the 10 Commandments from the mountain. And I like it. I like this pick because I like whether you're religious or not. So I'm running with the assumption that this happened, whether his name was Moses or not, came down with 10 rules that he told people to obey. Whether you believe they came from God or whether you believe he's a con artist who just created them. I like this pick either way. In fact, I kind of like the con artist version even more. First of all, half the people are going to believe that they came from God. Seeing their reactions on social media would be wild. Like, holy shit, like what the fuck? Like, but then even the ones that like thought he was a con artist, I would love to see the hate that he would get for that. And like, and people just picking apart each of the 10 commandments, like, why the fuck is this one on there, but no, this one's not and stuff. I just think it would be a great dialogue and a fun time.
This has made me realize between your pick and my pick, like, I don't believe any of us are religious, but like, we could have just done like biblical events we want social media for.
Yeah. We still can. We still can.
The reason I didn't think about this. The reason I like this so much is because there's already memes like The Simpsons did, like tons of animated shows and other shows in general have already done it. So I can already picture memes of it. And it is one of those things where, yeah, it's like, if you're in the crowd, like it's one thing, but then to be on the other side of the world, seeing people tweet about it, it'd be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. Like, who are you to tell me that I can't covet another man's wife or something? I'm going to continue to do that.
Or in this house, we covet other men's wives.
Or there's some guy that has like a, I can't think of the word, but like a bear rug that's like right to bear arms. It's like, yeah, damn right. Yeah. I am going to have bear arms in my house, and they're not going to realize the actual meaning of that.
Yeah, this is another one. We've had a lot of crossover ones that I at least considered, and I guess that's, you know, we grew up with the same education and background and all that, so that kind of makes sense. But I see a lot of these through the lens of like, what would this be like on Twitter and on Reddit? And I kind of, to your point about like people, like the detractors of it or the non-believers of it, I'm also kind of curious of the people that he would come down with it and it would say like, thou shalt not kill or something like that. And the immediate like anti whatever it says rhetoric where like people just refuse to agree with something, even if everyone else is in agreement about it, being like, well, I don't know. I feel like maybe sometimes. And then like the think pieces that are going to spiral out of it, and the people that for whatever reason, because we are broken brained, are going to end up getting the most interactions on their super BC tweets about, you know, maybe we should let murder be a thing. Maybe we should covet our wives. You know, feel like maybe this guy shouldn't tell us what to do. And it's like, this would have, like, people dunking on that guy would honestly be more fun to me than the actual Moses part of it all. It would be the dunking on the stupid idiots who are just assholes about the entire thing.
Yeah.
Because the entire internet would unite over dunking on those guys.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like Jason Whitlock would have a tweet just on Reddit. Yeah, somebody would call one of those guys, like they call Jason Whitlock a fat bitch, and we'd be like, you are a fat bitch.
The other piece of this, you could kind of see like the birth of a religion, and for those that believed in Moses, he could then just move to Twitter and like tweet out shit that he wanted people to follow from then on. He'd be like, just heard from God, by the way, you need to give me your money. You know?
Well, the story with the 10 Commandments, originally he comes down with far more rules. He throws them at the golden calf, destroys those rules. Then he comes down with the 10 Commandments because it's a much more like truncated version of it. I guess because God was getting lazy or something like that. I don't know. He didn't want to redo all his work. So yeah, Moses, you know, he throws those original ones out, but like, yeah, you just fire them all off, dude. Just start a tweet thread. Good point.
Yeah.